Alrighty, welcome back to another trade recap. Before I get into this, if you hear any noise, I got workers in my basement right now. I'm finishing up my basement, putting a couple things in there. But I ended up taking two trades today. I took two longs on NQ, one loss, one W. Oh, I want to go over the first trade. First trade, I'm completely fine with taking. I'm actually happy about the loss. And then second trade, I won, but it wasn't a great trade. I won't lie. It was kind of one of those moments where it was just like, it's kind of, I call it just like a market experience trade. Like I knew at this point in time the market was going to go higher. No really way to explain it. But all right, let's begin to go over what my bias was coming into the day. So coming into the day, let's go to the 15 minute. Coming into the day, I was bullish bias, right? We were respecting this higher time frame 4 hour fair value gap. We also had a 4 hour resting below, which you see as this fair value gap right here. We had this generated buy side liquidity above us, and overall on the higher time frame, we were in this massive 4 hour bearish fair value gap. However, we had seen displacement from the new week opening gap yesterday. So I wanted to see a move lower first at market open and then a continuation higher to take out these relative equal lows on the higher time frame. So again, like I said, I wanted to see a move lower first towards London low and then have internal manipulation to go higher towards buy side, right? So if we go at market open here, market ends up opening, we take the low, or we take the internal high, we also take London low, and we end up putting in a bullish SMT with London low. ES never took that low. And then I scale down to the 30 second. I recognize, okay, we have this 30 second fair value gap. If we run this 30 second fair value gap and we get above this 30 second change, I will take a long towards the internal high. We end up building more price action. We do end up getting above the 30 second fair value gap, running this and getting above the 30 second change. I enter long with kind of a tight stop right at this candle low. And my break even was going to be at this internal high. We end up coming up, edging my break even, and then coming back down and stopping me out right here. So I end up getting stopped out on my first trade. Again, completely fine with taking this, right? Everything that I want to see, we're respecting the higher time frame 4 hour for value gap. We have a bullish SMT with London low. We have immediate displacement. We get above this 30 second for value gap and this 30 second change, right? We have all this generated buy side liquidity above us. However, it just ended up not playing out. So I delete all this. And when we get stopped out here, if we don't see internal manipulation, I know that I'm wrong, right? We don't end up seeing internal manipulation. So I realized market didn't want to do that. I was wrong, right? So I erase all this, okay? And then I understand and I scale back out that price most likely just wants to rebalance to equilibrium of the price leg. So we measure out this price leg from yesterday and we mark out OTE. Equilibrium rests right below this 4 hour. What do we end up doing? We end up went too far. We obviously end up tapping equilibrium, right? So if we play through price here, we end up coming all the way down, tapping equilibrium, also tapping this unfilled 4 hour bullish for value gap, and we get an immediate reaction to the upside. So if we scale back to the 15 minute, we end up opening up this unfilled 15 minute for value gap here that I want to see act as a draw, which is right up here. Again, we come all the way back down. What do we end up doing? We just end up rebalancing to OTE of this price leg, which is where I would want to take a long. We end up respecting this 1 minute for value gap right here. Respecting this 1 minute for value gap. And then if we go back to the 15 minute, we are respecting constant encroachment of this 15 minute wick, right? So we're respecting constant encroachment, come down to tap constant encroachment. And then as soon as we inverse that 1 minute for value gap, I enter long. And originally I was going to target this high, the unfilled 15 minute, but I ended up just wanting to take a 1-to-1. So I end up just looking to take a 1-to-1. TP gets hit right there, and I was done for the day. Now, I could have easily just targeted this high. Again, I just wanted to get a 1-to-1, be done for the day, right? Price action was not that great. If I were to target that, it would have ended up playing out. I would have just been in the trade forever. But those were my 2 trades. Again, my second trade is really not, I don't really take conversions a lot. It was kind of just, like I said, it was one of those market experience trades where I kind of just knew that market wanted to rebalance to the 15-minute and go higher. So again, not really my model, which I'm happy with, or I'm not happy with, but I'm also fine with it, if that makes sense. It's just like a market experience trade, just looking at the market so long. But yeah, those were my 2 trades. I'm up around like $600 across all my accounts, so nothing crazy. Just made back my my loss and a little bit more. But yeah, those were my 2 trades today. Again, I'm up around like $600 on the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this trade recap, and I will catch you in the next one.